The January 6th committee is targeting is a man called Jeff Clark. He was Assistant Attorney General during the previous administration. Before dawn on Wednesday, which is to say yesterday, a large group of armed federal agents wearing body armor with weapons raided Jeff Clark's home. They dragged him into the street in his pajamas. Now, what did Jeff Clark do wrong? Was he selling fentanyl? Was he human trafficking on the Mexican border? No. Jeff Clark did not commit any crime. What he did wrong was calling for an investigation into voter fraud. We are happy to have Jeff Clark join us now. He's a senior fellow with the Center for Renewing America. Jeff, thanks so much for joining us. This is this is a Soviet account, really. So tell us what happened and why.
It is, and good to be here, Tucker. So yesterday at about just before 7 a.m., there was loud banging at my door, insistent banging. So I just rushed down as fast as I could. I quickly figured out, that there were agents there. I opened the door and asked for the courtesy to be able to put some pants on, and was told, no, you got to come outside. So I came outside. They swept the house. Eventually, they let me go back inside and put the pants on. But then, by my count, at one point, 12 agents and 2 Fairfax County police officers went into my house, searched it for 3.5 hours. They even brought along something, Tucker, I've never seen before or heard of, a electronic sniffing dog. And they took all of the electronics from my house. I don't blame the agents. I think what you're talking about in terms of weaponization is really about who's pointing the agents and telling them what to do, Tucker.
So Peter Strzok, who worked at the FBI, is effectively a criminal, in my view, never really punished, sent out a tweet today mocking you and gloating over the fact that the Biden administration stole your cell phone and will now be reading all of your private messages. I mean, at what point can we say the Department of Justice, where you once served, is a political instrument? It's completely out of control.
Yeah, I think this is highly politicized, and it's also part, Tucker, if you didn't know it, of a nationwide effort yesterday. There were multiple states where multiple people were roughly simultaneously, raided for their electronic devices. And that obviously requires a high level of coordination. And look, with the hearing that was pointed at me and targeting me today, with the special audience member of Sean Penn, so this is Hollywood. The very next day, it looks highly coincidental. And Tucker, I just don't believe in coincidences.
So Chris Wray, of course, who runs FBI. You probably know Merrick Garland. He's been around Washington a long time. Both of them have decided to pervert and corrupt our most basic institutions on behalf of Joe Biden. Did you think they were capable of doing that when you worked there?
I argued in front of Merrick Garland. I got a very respectful hearing. I think I was going to win that case, but we wound up actually settling it in the shadow of what everyone assumed was going to be a victory. Sometimes that happens in financial cases. And Chris Wray was with me in the Justice Department. He was just in the criminal division back in Bush 43. So I do know both of them, and I just think we're living in a era that I don't recognize, and increasingly, Tucker, I don't recognize the country anymore with these kinds of Stasi-like things happening.
Yeah, this is Stalinist. At some point, somebody's going to fight back, and it's going to get super ugly. I pray that doesn't happen, but I think it probably will. It's just the whole thing is so sad, and I'm sorry that you were caught up in it. In your pajamas, like they could have just called you. It's outrageous. Jeff Clark, I appreciate your coming on. I hope you'll come back and tell us where this winds up. It's creeps. Thank you.
Will do.